Good morning, good morning, good morning. Dr. T here. How are we doing out there? Time for another weekly lesson. You know what I want to talk about today? Two kind of big words that go together: empathy and perspective. Empathy and perspective. And we're going to talk about these because I think sometimes, not just students, not just kids, even adults, we can fall victim to thinking we are always right. Our feelings are the ones that matter. Well, I'm looking at it from my side of things. But as you grow, you recognize it's not always about you. Sometimes you have to consider, feel, understand, and listen to the other side. So when you talk about empathy, empathy is the ability to understand what the other person is feeling. Now, you may have heard the word sympathy before. Sympathy is when you feel sorry for someone. That's not empathy. Empathy is understanding how they feel. You may feel a certain way, and you are entitled to feel that way. You are justified. No one's telling you you're wrong, per se, in a lot of circumstances. But as you grow, you need to develop empathy, and that's the ability to understand what the other person is saying and feeling. You ever been in an argument with one of your friends and you really felt like you were right, but your friend really felt like they were right? And you're like, well, I don't understand how they could feel that way. And they're looking at you like, I don't understand how you could feel that way. Oftentimes, there can be two truths. And sometimes we need to just pause and not just think about what we want, but understanding what the other person wants and feels. This allows you to have a better perspective. I know I have beliefs. I know I feel a certain way. I know I look at certain things and think A, B, C, but everybody will not see it how I see it. And when I was your age, I had to learn that. It's not always what I want to do. It's not always the outcome I was hoping for. It's not always the answer I gave. I needed to have a bigger perspective. Perspective is seeing the whole picture, not just your part, but the whole picture. A lot of times you guys may have to do some group work or class work together. You need to take in the perspective of others. You ever been working in a 3-man, 2-man, or 4-person group and you want to do something one way and another person wants to do it another way, and you start kind of arguing and debating, and then you get mad, well, I don't want to be with this group anymore? That's part of growing up and maturing. You got to be able to understand that there are different perspectives out there, different ways of looking at things. And you can look at something and see one thing, and another person can look at that same thing and see something different or hear something different. So you got to be able to have empathy and understanding. One of the ways to do this: practice responding with empathy. When I was a younger person, I used to just focus on my answer and making sure I was honest and direct and clear. But you want to also practice making sure you practice speaking and responding with empathy. And that is, even in your answer, it offers an understanding of everyone involved, because it's not just about you. And if you're a person who tends to get mad or frustrated or shut down when the group may not see it how you see it, you might want to look at you. Because do you feel the whole group has to see it just how you see it all the time? If you do, you might want to take a look at you. Now, you also want to reflect on your responses. What is that? You ever have a conversation, then the next day you're kind of thinking about the conversation or thinking about how you responded to someone? Have you ever said to yourself, I probably said that and it sounded mean? Or, I probably could have said that in a different tone. Or, I probably could have said that and not sound so mean. Because when you do that, people will often look at you and they won't really hear what you're trying to tell them or relay. What they will hear is your mean face, or your loud voice, or your pointing fingers, or you shutting down, or you not wanting to play anymore. That's what people respond to. So you need to look at how you respond. It's not just what you say, it's how you say it. I'm going to say that one again. It's not just what you say, it's how you say it. You ever be sitting by yourself after a conversation and you feel like people are mad at you and you really feel like, well, I didn't lie, I didn't make anything up, I was telling the truth, and I answered the question, why are they mad at me? Maybe it's because how you said it. Maybe it's because of the voice you used. Maybe it was your face expressions. Do you know 78% of communication is non-verbal? What does that mean? That means we can communicate with our eyes, we communicate with our face expressions, we communicate with our tone, eyebrows, stern lips, versus smiling, laughing, dimple. You know what I mean? Like how you look when you're talking communicates to people a message. You want that message to go along with what you are saying. Just because you told the truth, but you look mean, do you think they're going to really get what you're saying if you're looking mean? Or if you're yelling? Or if you're being short or rude? So we want to make sure we are offering empathy. That means we're understanding what the other person is feeling and thinking. But then we're also taking a broader perspective. We're seeing what everyone involved may feel about the situation, just not you. Because remember this, two people can experience the same situation differently. We both were there, we both took part, we both heard the same things, we both heard what I said, we both heard what you said, and then when we walk away from that situation, I might feel a certain way, and they might feel differently. What you want to do is to go back and think about, well, what did I say? A lot of times when students come here and they're telling me about they're upset with someone and they want to tell me what somebody did, you know what I always say to them? And Evergreen knows this. Tell me what you did. Tell me what you said. Tell me your response. You're not going to just come tell me that one side that makes you look good. Tell me your part. Let's look at the role that you play. How did you affect this situation? Did you affect it positively or did you affect it negatively by how you were relaying your information, presenting your information, how you were speaking, how your face expression was looking? Because it does shape how the other person sees what you said. Remember, two people can experience the same thing differently. Another one to remember. Your truth is not theirs. I'll say that one again. Your truth is not theirs. Just because you feel a way about something or your experience of a conversation or a situation is one way, that doesn't mean everybody sees it the same way. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you're wrong or they're wrong. Sometimes we just got to agree to disagree, or we're going to agree to see things differently, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. If you have presented yourself well in an empathetic manner and you have a big perspective of what's going on and you feel like you were not rude and you were not mean, but yet the other people involved may see the situation differently, then that's cool. We can agree to disagree. We don't have to be mad. We don't have to be angry. We don't have to start bullying. We don't have to be mean. We don't have to go talk about none of that. Agree to disagree. There's nothing wrong with that, long as you're respectful. And why does that matter? 3 reasons. When you practice empathy and you have a better understanding of a bigger perspective, that means how other people see things, Number one, it improves friendships. You know why? Because people that are around you can trust you, that you'll listen. Yes, you're going to speak your piece. Yes, you're going to say how you feel. But they can trust that you will listen to how they feel. They can trust that you will listen to their words. They can trust that you won't be the kid who gets mad if everything doesn't go your way. So it improves friendships. Number two, it improves and reduces bullying, which is a big thing. If people can have conversation, even when they might disagree, that makes us better. But what happens is people get upset because someone doesn't agree with them. And then they try to go talk to somebody else and get that person to be mad at this person because that person didn't agree with them. Nah, that's not cool. It's pretty lame. It is. It actually makes people look at you a certain way. So when you have a disagreement with somebody, don't go talk to somebody else about that person. That makes you look like you couldn't deal with the conversation. That makes you look like you couldn't have understanding that someone could see things different. That makes you look like you don't have a broad perspective. That makes you look like only you think you are right. And you know, when people operate in that space where they think they're always the one that's right, as you get older, people won't want to deal with you. People won't want to talk with you. They won't trust their feelings with you. And you will find people will not want to engage in conversation with you because they won't trust that you will offer empathy. They won't trust that you'll offer understanding. So these are skills you really want to work on. Number three, and it kind of goes to number two, it reduces and resolves conflict. If you and I are in an argument or a debate or a disagreement, and we really see things differently, which is okay, but you let me say my piece, I let you say your piece, and then we have a conversation about how we each see it, and then can agree that, all right, that's cool, you see it differently to me. I don't have to be mad because you see it different. I don't have to be annoyed. I don't have to go talk about nobody. I don't have to go make nothing up about you, and I hope you would do the same for me. It's okay to have a conversation. We all present our points. We all have understanding of what the other person was feeling. We may not agree with them, but we can have understanding. Then we can walk away. Nobody's feelings are hurt. Everyone moves on with their day, and it gets rid of the conflict quicker. So it improves friendships, reduces bullying, and resolves conflicts. You know, you often will see this phrase as you go into life. Nobody understands what it's like to walk in my shoes. That's because they can't. They're my shoes. But I need to make sure I am listening and trying to have understanding and having greater perspective so I can understand what it's like to walk in your shoes. It's not just about me. It's not just about you. It's about all of us. The more we try to understand and be empathetic, the greater your classrooms will be, the greater your school will be, the greater your relationships will be, the greater your friendships will be, the greater your life experience will be. All right, we're out. Dr. T, we've talked about empathy, we've talked about understanding, improve those relationships, reduce that bullying, resolve those conflicts, but walk with your chest high, walk in your shoes, speak your truth, but pay attention to those face expressions. That can do more to turn people off than the words out your mouth. All right, Dr. T here. Be well. Talk to you soon.